So guys, we do know that microscope help us to magnify our specimens so that we have the image. So we do have the term called magnification. So what is the definition of magnification? Magnification is defined as a measure of the ability of a lens or optical instrument to magnify, expressed as a ratio of the length of the image to that of the object or actual length of the objects. So you need to know the formula. Okay, magnifications is the length of the image divided by the actual length. So we have few different kind of question, but generally we can actually have this. Okay, you look at these calculations and always remember in our biology, particularly paper 2 or paper 3, paper 4, okay, you need to show your working. So it means that you have to be careful. Okay, final answer won't grant you the marks unless you show the working. So how are we going to do this for the calculation of magnifications? You will realize that now I don't have the diameter of the cells and I do not know the actual diameter, but I do know that for this length of the scale bar, this one we know, we call it as a scale bar. This length of scale bar represents 6 micrometer. So in order to answer this kind of questions in your paper 2 or paper 3, even paper 4, paper 5, always remember, we do not need to measure the cells because the cells won't give me any detail of the length, right? So if you measure, okay, let's say I finish measure here, but what's actual length? Because magnification is actually length of the image divided by the actual length. So instead of using the cells, I can use the scale bar. Scale bar basically is the image, actual already given 6 micrometer. Okay, so first step, what you're going to do here, let me show you guys. So first step, you measure the scale bar. In millimeter, highlight. Okay, not only in millimeter, yeah, and you express it in 1 decimal point in millimeter. I'll explain this later. Okay, and you express the measurement. Okay, and with either 0.0 or 0.5. Now, what does this mean? If you place your ruler, okay, 0 millimeter, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, 4, and so on. If I have the object, I align and then falls like this. So in this case, you can see that the sensitivity of my ruler, the millimeter ruler, actually I can read up to 0.5 box, right? Can you see that this is 1 scale? I can read half of it, right? So this is 1.5 millimeter. So very important, guys. In this case, when you do the measurement, always remember, okay, when you write the answer, it's either, for example, in this case, it can be 1.0 mm, correct? Okay, 1.5 mm, correct? 1.3, I use this color, so, okay, 1.3 mm, wrong, because it must be end with 0.0 or 0.5, okay? Or you tell me 1 mm, wrong. Are you clear? So first thing, your measurements must be correct, okay? So because it's on my screens, my screen and your screen will be different, doesn't matter, guys. So I measure my one, you measure your, okay, your screen on your screen, or you print out, okay? So let me measure my ones here. My one is roughly about 2.25 centimeter, but can I use centimeter? I cannot use centimeter. So in this case, my answer is 22.5. Okay, so I write down my answer. So this answer, yeah. So first step, how I measure, I do the measurements. So I write length of the scale bar. equal to 22.5. Again, okay, let me continue. 22.5. Yeah, my one, 22.5 millimeter. Yours one, check. Okay, so again, I say that's very important. And with 0.5 must be millimeter. Okay, now next, I calculate the magnification. Step number 2, you calculate magnification. Okay, so how I calculate? So I write magnification equal to what? Equal to the length of, now I won't write image. Image, I don't know whether it's a cells or what, because I measure the scale bar, right? So I change my formula, become length of the scale bar divided by the actual length represented by the scale bar. So in this case, length of the scale bar is 22.5 millimeter divided by the length represented by the scale bar, 6 micrometer. And you realize that now we need to do the, can I see that? Millimeter, micrometer. So millimeter versus micrometer, you cannot divide. You need to do the unit conversion. So 22.5 millimeter to micrometer multiplied with 1000, change to micrometer, divided by 6 micrometer. Now, your answer must be, in this case, okay, generally must be in whole number, magnification in whole number. Okay, so 22.5 multiplied with 1000 divided by 6. So answer, oh, so happen that is, for my answer is the 3750. Okay, and put a multiply in front. This is the magnification. Okay, so now I want to highlight a few things that you need to know. First of all, make sure that you show unit conversion. Okay, second, you need to have this symbol. It's the mass, the time symbol, and the answer you give it to the nearest whole number. Unless question asks you for different. If no, generally must be nearest whole number. So this is how we calculate for the magnification. I do aware that some of you are very what we call this, obsessed with the physics way. Okay, everything must change to meter. Why you need to change to meter? Guys, no need. You no need. Okay, this one to change meter, this one change to meter. You do double work. No, you just need to change one. Either you change to micrometer by multiplying 1000, or another way you change the micrometer to micrometer to millimeter. But multiply easier than divide. I prefer to multiply. So these are the way. Okay. So I repeat, guys. First, as I said that if you measure the cells, you won't know what is the, you can see that I can measure, no problem, but I do not know what is the actual length of the cells. Useless, right? Correct not? So I might as well I use a scale bar. So because I use scale bar, so I need to change my formula a little bit. So I use a scale bar, I need to measure the scale bar. So always remember in millimeter, and you have to end with 0.5 or 0.0 or 0.5. This is the standard rules. Why? Because my ruler can read up to 1 decimal point, but it's not any decimal point. It must be 0.5. Okay, half of the box. Okay, so I measure my one here is 22.5 millimeter. Okay, yours one might be different. If you print out even different, so as let's say for example, if I enlarge it like this, even higher, correct not? So means that it depends on your question paper. Okay, and then I can calculate the magnification. So in order to calculate magnification, I need to change a little bit of my formula. So it's the length of the scale bar divided by the actual length represented by the scale bar. So it will be 22.5 millimeter over 6 micrometer. Unit not the same. I need to do the unit conversion. So very important unit conversion here. We multiply with 1000. You need to show. At the end, my answer must be in whole number. Okay, can you see that? It's a whole number. Okay, so you multiply with 37 and times 3750 is whole number. Okay. So if no questions, then I stop my recording.